Mariana Atencio is in Palm Beach Gardens. Morgan Chesky is at the Miami airport. Mariana, one of the things we just heard from the governor is that you still have time to prepare. That's his message, and clearly that's what the folks behind you are doing.
Yes, Chris, when you hear from the governor that they need to have these folks here on the ground supplies for around 7 days, that's what Floridians are preparing for at this Costco that just opened its doors here in Palm Beach Gardens. The line, Chris, wrapping around the building. And people here, many of them not considering evacuating now. One gentleman from New Jersey in line summed it best. He said, "Where am I going to go? This looks like it could hit the entire state at this point." Some ladies in line, born and bred Floridians, tell me they've been through Hurricane Andrew in 1992, Hurricane Irma 2 years ago, and they know how to hunker down. But for that, you need your list of essentials, and that is what folks are getting here. Most of them lining up for water, lining up for those non-perishable items, looking to buy gas canisters to fill up with gasoline, and especially generators, Chris. Some of them were lining up at a Home Depot since 5 in the morning. Generators there ran out, and now they're hoping to get their hands on them here at this Costco. And we're about 14 miles north of West Palm Beach. The storm looks right now like it could be headed straight here. Chris?
Mariana, thank you so much for that. Morgan, obviously, anytime you have a 3-day weekend, it's a busy travel weekend, and I wonder what that means there.
Yeah, Chris, certainly shaping up to be a much different Labor Day weekend here in Florida, where airports statewide are making plans ahead of the arrival of Hurricane Dorian. And I can tell you right now here at Miami International, we are already seeing an uptick in people checking in for flights here. A lot of folks either cutting vacation short or changing their plans altogether here, not wanting to take any chances with this hurricane as its path has continued to be determined as it approaches the state of Florida. We do know that a lot of the major carriers, United, Delta, Southwest, they are offering waivers for travelers who may be changing their flights ahead of Dorian, specifically here in the Florida and Southeast area. So that's good news for travelers who might want to just play it safe and stay home or go to a different destination right now. We have checked in with popular resort Universal Orlando ahead of the arrival of the storm. They say that currently they're open for business. Conditions have not changed at the park, but they're keeping a very close eye on the arrival of Dorian to see if and when it impacts that area. We have also reached out to Disney World, obviously very popular this time of year, but we've yet to hear back. As far as we know, they are still open for business. In the meantime, another industry that's taking a potential hit, cruise lines. So far, the only cancellation we've seen is Royal Caribbean and a Bahamas cruise, but everyone's saying the same thing right now. They're keeping a very close eye on Dorian to see where it ends up ahead of this busy holiday weekend. Chris?
Morgan Chesky and Mariana Atencio, both thank you and take care out there.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.